day everyone, and welcome to another segment on the bench. Today I'm going to tie you up my little magic caddis. Here's a nice little nymph that has been working very well, and we'll go over the materials we need to tie this fly. I'm going to be using a C49S. It's a Mustad size 10 caddis hook, signature series. I'm going to be using some 6/0 dark brown thread. Tie with that. There's going to be some vinyl rib for the body, the medium and olive. Under the body, I'm going to be using some green uni Mylar, just brighten it up, and also going to use some extra fine wire for the wire brush. I'm going to form the fur collar on it, and that collar I'm just using some mink here from a mink stole, some guard hairs from that, and also under the collar I'm using some olive brown ice dub. So let's get a hook in the vise and tie one of these magic caddis. Usually with anything I call magic, I got the underbody on there, try to make my body pop. The colors kind of work that way. I'm going to cut a little piece of my V-rib here. It's round on one side, flat on the other. So now what we want to do is thin that down. We want to warm up that V-rib, so stretch it a little bit thinner. Make sure I got a nice little point on there. I'm going to just cut that into a little fine little point, and thin that vinyl rib down. Just barely catch it. Otherwise, you get too much bulk at the back and it doesn't taper. And I'll get some of the Mylar here. It's kind of found its way all over my tying table. Tie the red side up. Now we come forward, wrap our green body forward with the Mylar. There, got my arms way in front of me here. It's a little hard to see sometimes. I'm grabbing the tip of my hook there, I see. And rolling that green body forward. Doesn't have to be touching. I just want some nice bright coloration under it. Then we'll take the V-rib, wind it forward. We should have the round side up. A little space in there is fine too. We got show a little more of that Mylar underneath. We want to make sure we tie that off good so it doesn't come undone. Nice bright body. Really looks good in the water. Okay, now what I want to do now is get some of my olive brown ice dub. Put a little of that in behind my fur collar. Now for the fur collar, I'm going to be taking some of this mink off this stole. Darker brown fur is what I'm really looking for here. If you have some other kind of fur you can use, or might have to use some dubbing. Just going to kind of get those tips lined up, make sure I get all the under fur out. We don't want any of that. That's all ready to go. I'll just leave that on my table for a second and grab some of my extra fine wire. I mean extra fine, I can't see it. Just tie it, fold it back. We have hitch on there. Then I'll grab some of my dubbing wax. A little bit on the wire there a little bit. That just kind of holds the fur from sliding around on there when I'm making my collar. And I just cut that to the desired length. That should hold that together while I spin this. I've got the nice little guard hairs just coming off. I want the under fur. I'm coming in one turn and then I'll start pulling it back. And that mink has really got a nice sheen to it. I'll come in and tie this off. The wire off. A couple good turns. Tighten that up. Got a little too much. I'm going to pull that off the top. And get a little bit of fur in there on the collar. That's good. On the head. Now I'll just bring in a little of my UV bone dry. Want to make sure we got a good solid fly here, because those caddis start merging. There'll be those big rainbows, and anybody that's in there eating these fish will be all over it. And I like to tie this pattern unweighted. I just rather have it take a little more time getting through the water column. I don't want it fishing vertically. I want to come more at an angle, which I feel is more of the, the direction those caddis are coming off. And so I always like to go unweighted with them. Takes a little more time to get down to the zone. That's okay. I get to the zone quick with the sink tips. And make sure you're not using too heavy sink tip. Just let it get a little more natural. Want a little more of the beard coming off the bottom, as you can see. But that ice stub is showing through behind. It's a nice bright body. It's a great pattern for you. So if you're fishing traveling sedge, if you're lucky enough to get on some water bodies with that, you want to make sure you have this magic caddis with you. And you can go to some of the more orangey and browny tones if you want for different water bodies. You'll know the your target, what you're trying to duplicate there for insects. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you again real soon.